YouTube, what is going on? West Coast Gamers here. This is another horse racing game on iOS that I'm playing called Off and Pacing. Obviously, from the name, you can see it is a harness horse racing game here on iOS. No idea if it's available on Android. So we're going to get right into it, and I'll kind of give you guys my overall review of it. I've already played it a little bit, and I'm going to say if you're looking for something that's more in-depth in terms of a player-controlled experience, you're not going to get that in this game, because basically you're doing the training and all that stuff, but the AI is controlling the races and the horses. So it's kind of randomized, and that's the only aspect of the game I don't really care for. But in terms of the actual structure of the game, it's very realistic. It's very realistic. I will show you guys what I'm talking about here. Let's go ahead and just go to horses. You can obviously acquire different horses. You see their stats and whatnot. Now, of course, I don't have money for this. You see the best ranked horses. If you go to, let's see, studs, what's in here? Studs, see kind of the interface of how they look. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of information. I'm not going to go through all of it. Let's actually just watch a race. Tracks-wise, you can see the tracks that are here, which is pretty cool. I mean, they have Woodbine, Hanover Raceway. You don't really recognize any of the other tracks, but they have a couple real tracks here, which is cool. Drivers, just random names. So you get that. Pretty realistic in terms of the interface. I almost questioned whether or not it was a game when I opened it. I'm like, okay, it is. So let's go to watch live. Let's watch a race so I can show you guys exactly what it's like. There's post time in 34 seconds here. The Syracuse Mile. It's a field of 5. And I think this is completely PvP. I don't know if you race AI horses in this game at all. I think this might be all the real players that you're racing and playing up against, which is pretty unique and cool. You can see the numbers are actually accurate in terms of the coloring for harness horse racing, which is awesome. So it's got some cool things. Like I said, it's the only thing I don't like is you're not controlling your horse in a race. So it's completely kind of RNG as far as the AI deciding who wins and who doesn't. And this is the gameplay, basically. It's very, would you even call this 2D? I don't know, I guess. But this is essentially the gameplay. And I think, it's a full mile, so we're going to go around here twice. And I'm not racing. My horse isn't in a race. I'm just showing you guys the gameplay. I wish this was upgraded. Even if it was something super, even if it was like a basic 2D where like you can see the horses on the side view, that would still be cool. I think that would actually be really kind of cool. Because I live near Northfield Park here, and I don't know if anybody's been to Northfield Park, but you know, when the sign is lit up at night, it's that neon sign of, you know, the jockey, the driver, excuse me, in the harness horse racing, the driver in the sulky with the whip kind of going back and forth, and then obviously the horse pacing his legs back and forth. It sounds confusing, but if you've been to Northfield Park, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That type of view for this game, even if it was like 2D, really basic, or even 3D, a really basic 3D would be awesome. You know, so I'm not a huge fan of this type of viewing experience, but I get it. This game is definitely more so dedicated, I think, to people that are actively following the sport and are really invested. I don't think this game was built as a cosmetic or aesthetically appealing horse racing game like the others. This one was definitely built from a much more realistic viewpoint, and I totally respect that. So I'm just giving my review for people that may be looking for something that's more aesthetically pleasing, because, you know, I know the type of people that have come to my channel and watched my gameplays, and I just know what the horse racing fans that have watched my games like to look for. You know what I mean? So we're approaching finish line here. As you can see, the horses do kind of pan out and stuff, but that's pretty much it. I could not watch so many races from this camera angle for a long time. I just couldn't. It's not because I hate it. It's just, I don't know. It just kind of bugs me a little bit. But like I said, this game is not meant to be that type of game where it's like an aesthetically viewing experience, you know. But like I said, very realistic as far as the time. Obviously, as you can see, for the mile, 1:49.1. Yeah, so it is a cool game. It's unique, and like I said, if you want that realism from a owner trainer perspective, this is definitely a game I think you will enjoy. And I do have a horse, a 4-year-old, who goes there. As you can see the races you enter in. I finished 8th. I don't even know if I got to watch my own race. I don't think I even watched my race. I entered my horse in the race, and I forgot that the race was happening a couple hours later. So it does happen in terms of like real time, as far as following the our actual clock systems go. So it was a field of 8, and you can see everybody with their horse name. Should have been a cowgirl, and we were, what were we? We were number 8, right? No, we were. Hold on, what number were we? We are number 5 at post. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch this race. We came in 8th, so we came in dead last. I guess there's really nothing to watch if we already know what happened with us. I think I don't know if I was able to pick the color of my horse, or that was just given to me by default. But at this game, if they cared about making it a little bit more cool from a viewing experience, I mean, this could be a really solid harness horse racing game. In fact, I think that's the only thing that's going to turn at least some people away. And, you know, I don't think it would be fair to call those people, you know, non-real, you know, that they're not real horse racing fans. It's just everybody has different preferences. Some people want the more in-depth managerial experiences with the game, and some people just want the really cool viewing experience, and some people like me like both. That's my favorite type of horse racing game, where you have that in-depth manager type of position of putting things together for your stable, your farm, training your horse, and then you can also have a very viewable, a very pleasing viewing experience when it comes to watching your horse in the races and partaking in the races yourself, which is why I still do enjoy Horse Racing Manager 2 whenever I play it, because you get the best of both worlds with that. This is just one of those games that obviously leads more to the technical side of putting together, you know, a harness horse racing career and establishment, so to speak. So this is basically off and pacing. I don't think I'm going to play it too much, just because I feel like it's a lot that I'm not particularly very skilled at. But like I said, I wouldn't say this is a bad game. If you're looking for that realistic experience, I highly advise you download this game. I think you will enjoy it for that aspect, especially if you're really into harness horse racing. Now, I don't really follow harness horse racing like I do compared to thoroughbred, even though I enjoy it. I love harness horse racing, but I do not follow it as much as I follow thoroughbred racing. So there's things about it that I may not be too versed in. There's other stuff as far as, you know, the auctions, stakes, file. I mean, there's, like I said, this is very, very in-depth, and there's a lot of stuff. And the overall layout and structure of this interface is pretty realistic. It reminds me of a site. I just can't recall what the site is, but if you guys have been on there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, this is off and pacing. Like I said, if you want that realistic kind of approach to a horse racing game, especially with harness horse racing, since there's not a whole lot of games out there for harness horse racing, this I think you will enjoy. But if you want it something with a better viewing experience, I still advise you to get Horse Racing Manager 2, which you can obviously get at the website in the description box below, and I can get that game to you within a couple of hours, and I guarantee you'll probably enjoy that better, because you still kind of get the realism of this game with a really cool viewing experience. Only difference is there's no PvP in Horse Racing Manager 2 on the PC. You're racing against the AI all the time, but you can have long careers, and you can do a lot of stuff. And I still have yet to have a really successful career in that game, and I've been playing for years and years. So that is my honest review of Off and Pacing. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad game at all. I really like how realistic it is when it comes to harness horse racing and everything you can do. I just wish the viewing experience will be upgraded. And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything super crazy with, you know, new engine graphics or whatever. It could literally look like something from like a Super Mario game, just from a side view instead of looking at it from top to the bottom. And I think that would really help elevate the viewing experience. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. Appreciate your love and support. If you found this helpful at all, please remember to smash the like button. If you played this game, or if you're going to give it a try, let me know your honest thoughts and whether or not it's something that you enjoy and what could be fixed, or if you think it's actually perfect where it's at. I'm just kind of curious what others' opinions and thoughts on this game are, and I'll be back with some more content and gameplay discussion here very, very soon. West Coast Gamers, sign out till next time. Hope you all have a great, fantastic day. See ya, and goodbye.